Well, hello, thank you for joining me today again on the church history trail, and we find ourselves down at LAMBEG near Lisburn, and what you're looking at is actually the River Lagan, and as you can see there's a brave flow on her today, and so you're well into the countryside here down at LAMBEG. What we're looking at here is actually known as WOLFENDENS Bridge. Now, in 1690, that bridge wasn't there, and the river was crossed here by means of a ford, and that ford in this area would have been full of troops, Williamite troops, who were making their way south towards the Boyne. And while going down one of the steep hills toward the ford, one of the gun carriages actually overturned and was damaged, which caused a delay to make the necessary repairs. And during the repairs, King William is said to have stopped at what's now known as LAMBEG House. Then it was called Harmony Hill, for some refreshment. And the house was actually owned then by a man called Abraham Wolfenden. Of course, the bridge is named after the Wolfenden family. Now, the house is just up on the hill there, which you can't really see because of the trees. You can maybe just see a wee bit of it through the trees there, but that's LAMBEG House, and we will be looking at that in another wee video. And so the troops had to cross here by means of the ford, which of course the bridge now, where the bridge now stands. And the spot where the carriage was damaged is marked, I'm told, by an oak tree known as King William's Oak. Now, don't ask me which one it is, because there's that many trees and I don't know my trees, so take your pick. But apparently it's marked by King William's Oak, the spot where the carriage broke down. And it's said that Wolfenden himself is said to have actually supplied the timber that was needed to repair the wagon. Now, the Wolfendens were a linen family. They were originally from Holland, or what is now what we would call Belgium. And as I say, the bridge is called the Wolfendenes Bridge after the family, and the bridge itself was actually built in the early 19th century. And so the church that you can see actually in front of me is LAMBEG Parish Church, and some of the graves in this church are very old, but amazingly buried in this church is actually the Wolfenden family. And so we're going to have a wee look at their graves. And so there's a lot of history here, as you can see, and the church itself is actually fantastic. And so we're going to have a wee look at the graves of the Wolfenden family, because of course they have a big connection with LAMBEG. As you can see, there's a brave lot of ground to this graveyard, and we're just heading now towards those graves, and it's the big one, the big memorial there straight in front of me, which you'll be able to see a wee bit clearer shortly. So this is the Wolfenden burial ground. Whom the bridge is named after, and as you can see there, I'll just zoom in and let you see that. It says Wolfenden 1695, and so this burial ground is back to 1695, just shortly after the Battle of the Boyne. And so in another wee video then, we will be looking at a Huguenot family called Bulmer, who are also buried in this graveyard. And also in another wee video as well, we will also be looking at Lambeg House, where not only did King William III stay, but there was another famous visitor to that house as well, and I will introduce you to him in another wee video. So if you enjoy the channel, then please give me a wee like and subscribe. God bless.